And after getting in all that trouble last week for doing it, guess what they did when they got home from school this week? The very first. Oh, they did. They did. Because my kids are brain dead. Anyway, we'll be back in a little while to talk about
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Shortly after Seattle area consulting firm Brink and Tiller received a resume from Corey Wilhelm, a college graduate with a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Communications, Human Resources Director Robert Bradshaw immediately fast-tracked Wilhelm's application and spoke with The Onion about this exceptional candidate.
Well, the second I saw Corey's resume, I knew I had to send it straight up to our CEO. I mean, we're talking about an applicant who not only got into the University of Washington School of Communication, but also managed to graduate in 4 years with a Bachelor of Arts. This kid's only 22, but according to his resume, he already has experience in Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. We're really going to have to move fast to get this guy.
Bradshaw went on to say that company heads could barely believe the candidate had 2 years of experience working at his college newspaper and had even taken a full 4 years of high school Spanish. Since receiving the application, Bradshaw claims the company has made numerous attempts to reach Wilhelm.
This is the Onion News Network.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. I am joined by, Miss Aria DiMezzo, the Queen of Crypto herself, along with our legal mind, Mr. Tom Gray, and Chelsea Snyder from the Vora Method. And, we were about to get into a talk about I think the whole world is brain dead. Modern leftism has turned everyone on earth into a moron. Like, even the people that I thought were reasonable many times now are idiots. I mean, seriously, they're complete and total morons. And I just...
Stupid earth monkeys.
For real, man. It's just getting to the point where I don't even want to, I just want to throw rocks at people most of the time.
Well,
because that's perfectly sane. Yeah, I was about to say, everybody else is nuts. I'm going to start stoning people.
I didn't say stoning people. I just want to throw rocks at them. Like, every time someone says something stupid, I just want to find something heavy.
What's the
and
difference?
Throw it at their head.
There is not one.
There's going to be some clarification needed on that. I just want to bury them up to their necks and throw rocks at their heads until they die. I'm
tired of sharing my oxygen with these people. Is that a terrible
thing?
If
they're that dumb, they need the oxygen in their brains.
They need something. Yes, it's a terrible thing. First example is this. Okay, when did it become controversial that different religions believe that the other ones are wrong? I mean, it's like that's a reason to attack a pastor.
Second Ecumenical Council.
Huh?
There. The Second Ecumenical Council.
What's that?
Or no, that's not what I'm thinking of. One of the councils that they had in the 60s when all the Catholic hippies decided to hippieize Catholicism and were like, we have to start saying nice things about things or something. I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, I was right around there for us. I don't know about
this is from Joy AM Joy on MSDNC. I mean MSNBC, and I don't like the let's unilaterally create, make Jerusalem the embassy. Like, I don't agree with the position, but I also don't think, like, if the best thing you can that their pastor said that people's not Christians is going to hell. If that's literally the best thing you can come up with, just let me invite you to hold your breath for at least 4 minutes.
We thank you every day that you have given us a president who boldly stands on the right side of history, but more importantly, stands on the right side of you, oh God.
No, he doesn't.
Evangelical pastor Robert Jeffress offered an opening prayer at the opening of the new U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem this week. But why was someone who believes that Jewish and Muslim people will go to hell even at the event?
Because if you want a Christian pastor at the event, then you're going to have to be stuck with someone who believes that Jews and Muslims are going to hell.
Seriously, what the crap?
Why do they want a Christian pastor at the event in the first place?
So they can raise money from Christians.
You have to remember, like, the whole, like, Jerusalem is the embassy in Jerusalem. Like, this is a Zionist position, and they're virtue signaling to the Zionists by having a Christian there. They're saying, hey, look, you think that this will help?
We want the apocalypse too.
Exactly. We are trying to use the state in order to create the apocalypse just like you want. See? But I mean, seriously. Well, this pastor says that Jews and Muslims is going to hell. Well, yeah. Don't all Protestant pastors think that people who aren't Christian go to hell? What's that thing that I hear all the time when no one comes to the Father but by me? There we go. That verse in the Bible, right? So that means that if you follow another path besides Christianity, then you don't make it to heaven. That's what Orthodox Christianity believes. So basically what you're saying is that if you are an Orthodox Christian, you shouldn't be giving a prayer at a public event?
That sounds like the MSNBC position on things, yes.
Well, yeah, but it's not just MSNBC, though. I'm seeing imams in my own community
they want
that are like,
it's okay for him to believe it, but yeah, he's not supposed to say that in prayers.
Well, he wasn't saying it in prayer.
When you think about it, that's a pretty messed up prayer.
Well, no, he wasn't making the prayer. It's an opinion. It's a religious position he has, which is a valid it's the only valid theological position for a Christian to have. I mean, let's just be honest. Tom, is there another valid Christian opinion? Is it a valid Christian opinion that if I don't become a Christian, I'm going to heaven?
No.
Okay. So, and you and I are friends, and you're not like,
right.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's almost like that's how pluralism works, stupid.
Who would have thunk it? You know? Who would have thunk that Will and I have theological disagreements?
Yeah.
And yet somehow we manage not to have a holy war on the air unless we're talking about schools.
Yeah, because I hate them more than he does.
It might be better radio if we did have holy wars on the air, but we're still not going to do it.
Oh, God.
Maybe not.
Oh, Jesus. Chelsea, what do you, I mean, you're agnostic, right? Or am I just reading that in because most libertarians I know are agnostic?
I am actually Catholic. But,
you're Catholic. Awesome.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Well, let's hear your take here. So we've got an evangelical. We've got Ari is basically religiously an atheist, right?
The word is atheist.
Yeah. And then Tom's an evangelical. I'm a Muslim. You're a Catholic. Is this
a really fun religious dynamic, actually?
Is this a conflict? Is this some kind of this is an Orthodox teaching, right? Like you've never heard everybody goes to heaven.
Oh, I've definitely heard it. Definitely heard it.
Yeah, right.
There's plenty of New Agey stuff, and there's plenty of
ecumenicalism. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's plenty of all paths lead to Godism in people calling themselves Christians. It just doesn't happen to come from Christ, whose name is kind of in the name of the religion.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, Catholicism is even more restrictive than that. I mean, not only do you have to be a Christian in Catholicism, you have to have had your sins forgiven by one of the official, Pope Hatter people.
All right, well, when we get back, we'll continue on with this conversation here on the Call to...
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Don't worry about things you you can't control. Isn't that what they always say? But it's about impossible to avoid worrying about what's going on these days. The government has used the war on guns, the war on drugs, and the war on terrorism to tear our Bill of Rights to shreds. But you can fight back. The 10th Amendment Center has proven it, racking up major victories. For example, when the U.S. government claimed authority in the NDAA to have the military kidnap and detain Americans without trial, the nullifiers got a law passed in California, declaring the state's refusal to ever participate in any such thing. Their latest project is offnow.org, nullifying the National Security Agency. They've already gotten model legislation introduced in California, Arizona, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kansas, meant to limit the power of the NSA to spy on Americans in those states. We'd be fools to wait around for the U.S. Congress or courts to roll back Big Brother. Our best chance is nullification and interposition on the state level. Go to offnow.org, print out that model legislation, and get to work nullifying the NSA. The hero Edward Snowden has risked everything to give us this chance. Let's take it. Offnow.org.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live from the Zencash studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, well, we've been talking about the brain dead among us. Usually they're on the left. There's a lot of them in the Libertarian Party nowadays, but, you know, mostly they're on the left. And another, you know what, I don't even have to look for it anymore. You know, show prep for this show is so easy because libertarians bathe in drama nonstop, and liberals just are dumb for the sake of being dumb. Now, we brought this to you last.
They wouldn't be liberals otherwise,
right? We brought this to you guys last week, and says, you know what? There's this story going on, you know, the Santa Fe shooter, blah, blah, blah. We talked about the iconography that he was wearing and how the left was going bonkers all across the internet. 98% Occupy Democrats, all of them going out of their way to say, oh, he's got a black and white iron cross on his jacket. That means he's a Nazi. Now, we're going to ignore all the other iconography that he's wearing. And we're just going to focus on this one symbol that, oh, by the way, is also the logo for a popular skateboard company and doesn't have a swastika, and therefore basically every rights group and anti-Semitism group out there says if there's not a swastika with it, it's just an iron cross. And that's what he's wearing is, well, just an iron cross. And, well, I'll be damned if we were right. See, according to the Sentinel here, and the police, the shooter in Santa Fe wasn't a white nationalist. The gunman who opened fire inside Santa Fe High School in Texas Friday morning, killing 8 students and 2 teachers, was initially reported by the mainstream media as being a white supremacist due to the German Iron Cross medal seen on his jacket and photos obtained from his Facebook account. However, little attention's been paid to the fact that the medal in question is not Nazi memorabilia. In fact, the Nazis intentionally redesigned the cross with red trim to distinguish the award from the World War I era Iron Cross, which featured white trim and is identical to the medal worn by the shooter. The Santa Fe Police Department is investigating the shooter's online activity, which they believe may indicate that he is what is referred to as a Nazbol, slang for National Bolshevism, a militant Marxist political ideology popular among members of a Facebook group known as Ancapistan. It's happening, folks. The memes are becoming reality. This would make sense given the fact that the other largely overlooked memorabilia on his jacket is a Soviet hammer and sickle. Detectives are pursuing other leads that may link the gunman to the latest in soy movements. Inceldom. The fact that
you know, this sounds like it's as 100% incorrect as the mainstream media was to call him a right-wing extremist because of the Iron Cross. I mean, now we're doing the same thing. We're just picking a different symbol and go, oh, look, that's the one he really was.
Well, this is the police department is saying that through their investigation, they're finding that he was basically one of the ANCOM trolls that you see in the Ancapistan group. Says, blah, blah, blah. He was playing music, making jokes, and had slogan rhymes. He kept saying, "Good morning, America," every time he'd killed someone. And then he would say, "Another one bites the dust." Let's see here. Jeez. He wrote in journals that he wanted to commit suicide following the attack, but he lacked the conviction to follow through with the plan. One of the most heinous attacks we've ever seen in the history of Texas schools. Don't hold your breath on any retractions being issued regarding the shooter's affiliation or lack thereof. So basically, you've got he's wearing a ton of left-wing iconography. He was painted as alt-right in the beginning. The police are now saying, it looks like he might have been a part of like a nationalist Bolshevik, like a communist movement. And
yeah, but he also didn't know what the hammer and sickle meant. I mean, his thing was it stood for power or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't communism. I think it's just a confused kid, and people are looking for political motivations when he really was just a nut.
I think we're the ones who are confused. I think we all want to be able to make more sense out of this sort of thing than it's ever going to make to anybody who is rational and functioning on an age-appropriate level. At the end of the day, guy's a murderer. The guy's evil. Whatever caused that evil is a separate discussion, but trying to associate the evil with some other group, some members of whom may be evil, but who are not this guy, it's just an exercise in pointing fingers in the wrong directions. And we do that because I don't know why we do that. Why
I'm trying to
is
understand.
It so hard? I mean, it's hard to understand that depth of evil, but it shouldn't be hard to understand that the cause of the evil is the evil person.
Well, no, there has that's not. Everything in life has a catalyst. Things don't just happen in a vacuum, Tom. People.
Yeah, but the catalyst is him.
Well, I mean, he's been going on a while about how he wanted to kill people.
Two of you were talking at the same time. What Chelsea?
That like people aren't just born evil. So like the catalyst can't come from like inside of him. There's got to be something that happened to him that like
everyone's born evil. It's just a matter of how far you go with it.
Okay, but point being, like,
what kind of Catholic are you? People aren't born evil. Well, then how does your church make any money?
Okay, all right.
Muslims believe in the fitra nature of people, which is the opposite of what Christians believe. We believe that bad action is taught. You learn good and bad.
Yeah, but I don't even know. I mean, obviously this kid like wasn't taught. Maybe whatever. Maybe he was taught that killing is the way to handle problems. But more likely there was something.
Well,
that happened
I
to
think
him
that's
that
exactly what he was taught. I mean, he had this obsession, and forgive me for saying this. I love video games, but he did have this obsession with apparently. Well, I don't know about obsession, but he did like the violent video games, and he talked at length about how he wanted to join the Marines to kill people. It seems pretty clear to me that he was violent. I don't know what made him violent.
The question is why.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why was he like that? What created
because
that?
Because our society trains people to be violent.
Specifically men.
I mean, our entire society is built around violence.
Okay, I'm going to have to disagree with Tom on the especially men part because, well, I guess men are taught two different things at the same time. We're taught that we're supposed to be these cry, weepy homos that are in touch with our feelings.
I don't know who you think is teaching
new.
that.
That's a very new development.
Yeah, if
when I was in high school, we were taught that masculinity was bad. Our generation was when they started teaching that being a boy was bad. When boys having fights in school was suddenly, we got to throw these kids in jail.
That's because fights are bad.
Like, boys have fights.
Hurting people's bad.
They do.
And it's not masculine.
Fighting is not.
It's been a part of boys growing up as long as society has existed.
Yeah,
and
it's bad.
Now we can't allow kids to work those things out anymore. I mean, what do you expect?
Not by hurting each other.
When you have a society
what's libertarian about
built,
saying go hurt the other guy? That's not.
When you have a society that's built around everybody gets a trophy, don't be surprised when...
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
If you're looking for work, you know the math. There are many more applicants than openings, so you need to stand out, not blend into the blah, blah, blah your interviewer is hearing from your competition. Here's a tip. In your interview, you will be judged more by the questions you ask than the answers you give. Yes, do anticipate the obvious job interview questions and prepare concise, insightful, glass-half-full sounding responses. And you should interview your interviewer. Seem genuinely curious about what will help get results. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. You want to cut through the clutter. For more tips for job seekers and making all the other conversations you have more productive, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. So, goodness gracious. I tell you what, this I'm still not over this thing about the pastor. This is just like, you gotta be kidding me. Have we really reached that point now? I mean, really? Where we can't even have like people who have different religions acknowledge that we disagree on certain things. I mean, are we really to that point now?
Are we off?
No, you're not off.
Can you hear Arya?
I say something, Arya.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I mean, it's not even that. It's that, we reached that point where people are complaining just to be complaining. Because if you're a believer, then it doesn't apply to you because you're a believer. And if you're not a believer, then it doesn't apply to you because you don't believe it.
And if you're either of those two parties, then the other party's business isn't your business, and so you should butt the heck out of it.
Right. Well, my wife and I even had a talk last night. She was like, basically, he's this new thing they call incels, which are these like, I guess they're like
involuntarily celibate?
Yeah, involuntarily celibate. They're like these kids that they took the bait, basically. They took the bait. They were taught this thing about what they were supposed to be as a guy by women. Women taught them that being masculine is unattractive. And then they grew up.
This is such bull.
It is not bull. Then they
It
grew
is
up.
total bull.
What women taught them that?
Women are not responsible for incels' inability to attract women.
Then, when they grew up, they found out actually women do like
They didn't grow up.
masculinity.
They didn't grow
I'm sorry,
up, or
when
they
you're a
wouldn't be over there
teenager and you're out
complaining
there-
about not getting laid.
Okay.
'Cause that's non-grown up stuff.
I only speak totally from experience. I was.
How many kids do you have? You're
I
like
was
the
an
opposite of
incel
an
in high school.
incel.
I was an incel in high school.
You're an impreg.
I am now. You know what? You know what happened? My first wife was one of those kinds of women who married.
I'm an incel. Let me talk about all the women I've bedded.
Well, no, my first
That's
wife
Will.
was one of those women that, like, she saw me as an easy mark and saw that I was one of those guys that had taken the bait and just, oh, well, I'll just be this sensitive little sissy who girls just love that. By the way, they don't. But, my sisters, my aunts, my teachers, my guidance counselors all told me that feminism was what women wanted. Women want this sensitive man who's in touch with his feelings and knows how to cry.
Yeah, you're talking about
and
two
all
totally
this
different
other
things.
crap. And I did that. I became that. And what happened was I attracted the kind of women who like to victimize men. And eventually, one of them hurt me so badly that I rebuilt myself afterward as the kind of guy that women actually like, which is an asshole. And suddenly, I have 8 children.
No comment.
Suddenly, and now I have 8 kids.
Yeah, Tom, I think that what Will is talking about is like it's happening simultaneously with what you're describing. So like you guys, neither of you are wrong. Like you're both right. It's just different things happen to different people. Sometimes you get this whole like intense masculinity vibe, and then sometimes you get this whole like masculinity is bad, you should basically be a woman vibe. But it just like depends.
I've never
on...
gotten that.
I mean,
Right, so
now the
maybe you never have, but I
conversation is
know that
about
my brother
toxic
definitely
masculinity. That's the conversation.
Right.
Toxic masculinity. When guess what? Incels have no masculinity. So how
Yeah,
can
they do. They have toxic whiny man syndrome.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's not masculinity. That is in no way masculine.
It's toxic masculinity. It's not positive masculinity.
No, it's not masculinity at all. It's sissified faggot nonsense.
They've learned. Boy, we might have needed to hit the
All right,
dump
guys,
button
all
on
right.
that.
I'd like to get a word in at some
calm
point.
down.
Sorry, go ahead, Aria.
I don't remember it now. Stupid is he laughing at what you said. I mean, there's a difference. I mean, there's an enormous difference between those vaginas walking around. I had to, be careful with that one. And
I don't think you were careful.
What you're
enough, but go ahead.
What, Tom?
I don't think you were careful enough for the censors, but we'll find out soon enough.
You can say vagina.
Yeah,
You can
it's
say
the medical
penis.
term.
Yeah,
gotta
you
be
can
able
use
to
a
say
medical
it.
term. I can say faggot.
I don't think. See, we're not on the air in Texas anymore right now, so let's work on that assumption.
I'm sure if we're on the air in right wing Christian evangelical Texas, half the people listening use the term in a derogatory way, not the way I'm using it.
Wasn't aware there was a non-derogatory way to use that word.
I don't think it's masculinity or femininity in any direction that is actually the issue, as much as it is people trying to be a specific thing that they've been taught to be.
Or people blaming others because
And it comes
of
off
their
as
own...
inauthentic.
With that, you have to
It
look
is
at
inauthentic because it's
this.
BS.
This is a society and a culture that has never taught people to lose, to be rejected, to hear the words no. We raise our children until they're teenagers that the word no is like oppression. And then when they grow up, we wonder why when they deal with rejection for the first time in their whole life, it's soul crushing and they have a flip out and start shooting people. Well, I don't know. Maybe if people who have weak wills were taught that loss and losing and being told no and rejection are things that exist in real life, and you're going to experience them more often than you experience happiness. And that's life. That when real life finally drops in their lap, they don't have a nervous breakdown. Because that's what happened here. This is a kid who he was mocked and humiliated by some girl in class, and he didn't know how to handle that.
That was the last shooter, wasn't it?
He didn't know how to handle
about
that.
a girl in relation to this shooter.
No,
I know
this
the
one, I
last
heard
one.
this one.
They've been trying to blame the girl in Santa Fe. They've been trying to blame the girl there.
In Santa Fe, I heard that basically a girl, he approached a girl, and that's not blaming the girl, that's acknowledging the timeline. It's not blaming anyone, acknowledging, hey, a timeline of events happened here. He went to school, he approached this girl, he was rejected, it crushed his soul because he's a post-millennial little sissy who's never been taught that, sometimes you lose in life, and it crushed his little soul more than he could handle.
Or he was taught that men are entitled to women's bodies, and he wasn't happy that he didn't get her body.
His little soul was crushed because he was taught his whole life that you aren't supposed to be told no or lose. That everybody gets a trophy.
Hold on,
he
because
didn't get a participation trophy.
There's a conflict there between that and the whole consent thing that's simultaneously going around that is precisely about women telling dudes no.
Well, there's... why do you say there's a conflict?
Well, because, that whole thing gets dudes to accept that, hey, women are going to tell you no, and when they do, you have to deal with that.
Oh, yes, exactly. No, I see, that's why I don't think there is a conflict, because that is a positive teaching, that it's okay.
Well, that's a conflict with the idea that he's been told that he's never going to be told no.
Exactly. Well, yeah, it's a conflict if he's been taught the healthy thing, which is that no is okay. If he's been taught the unhealthy thing, which is that you as a man are entitled to a woman's body.
Yeah, he's
and
not being
services.
You two are both missing what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the culture itself that teaches men and women alike that the word no, loss, these things are oppression. To build a Matchbox car and come in last place and not get a trophy as though you came in first place, that's oppression, and that's just going to hurt you and hurt your little feelings. And then when you're 20 and you've been coddled like that your whole life, and someone finally says, you know what, no, I think you're kind of a loser. But being a loser is oppression. This is violence. I have to defend my ego with violence because I've been taught my whole life that if I get told no, that it's violence. Losing is violence. Anything that makes me feel sad is violence against me. What do we expect when that's what our kids are taught from kindergarten to 12th grade if they end up flipping out when someone finally has the audacity to tell them no?
Free Talk Live.
Who is playing dress up as a guess?
Superhero.
Ninja.
Yeah. A border ninja.
See, that would be the problem. Somebody else would dress up like a pirate, and then there would be a war.
Yeah. Just the pirates duking it out.
Wait, well, now what do the pirates have against ninjas?
Ninjas and pirates are like matter and antimatter. They can't be together.
Okay.
I have a feeling the ninjas would just whoop it up on the pirates.
Are you kidding? Pirates. Pirates, man.
Oh, the pirates do have cannons. They have the long-range attack ability, but once you get in close...
It's hard to be tougher than a pirate, though.
The pirates are certainly tough, but the agility I don't think is there. They sit around on a
lose
ship
a hand, lose a leg, you can still get 200 people to be afraid of you as you stomp around with half of your, an eye patch, one hand, one leg. You stomp around half a person, and you're still commanding 200 people.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, May 21st, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.41 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,285 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $33, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,500. Antiwar.com reports a number of Afghan senators, including Deputy Speaker Mohammed Alam Azadiar, are calling for an immediate review of security agreements with both the United States and NATO, complaining they have not fulfilled their promises to support Afghan forces in maintaining control of the country. In particular, senators complained that the amount of the country under control is getting even worse, saying more than 50% of Afghanistan is now either under Taliban control or contested by them. Senator Afzal Shamil said the U.S. should be ashamed and start taking the losses in Afghanistan seriously, even those supporting the U.S. deal agreed that the situation is looking dire, but argued the security forces needed to be supported by the Senate. Many see this deal as a losing proposition, however, saying that Afghanistan needs to review the bilateral security agreement with the United States and the status of force agreement with NATO. It is not clear if they want to negotiate a replacement or just expel foreign forces from the country outright as a first step towards a negotiated settlement. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports in North Carolina, a man crashed his vehicle into a restaurant, killing his daughter and daughter-in-law, according to police on Sunday. Roger Self of Dallas, North Carolina, went into the Surf and Turf Lodge in nearby Bessemer City with several members of his family, including his daughter, Caitlin, and his daughter-in-law, Amanda. After they got a table, Roger went out to his vehicle and rammed it into the restaurant where the two women were sitting. Caitlin and Amanda Self were killed. Roger's wife, Diane, his son, Josh, and his 13-year-old granddaughter were injured. Roger was arrested and faces 2 counts of murder. The incident took many locals by surprise due to the family's connection to the area, including its law enforcement community. The Gaston Gazette described Roger Self as a prominent proprietor of a private investigations company who has known the district attorney there, Locke Bell, for more than 30 years. The Gaston Gazette reported that Roger Self had been battling severe depression in recent years. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports a mountain lion killed one mountain biker and mauled another in Washington state on Saturday when they rode into its territory, and authorities later shot the animal dead. The mountain bikers were riding together down a remote backwoods trail at 11 a.m. local time in an area near North Bend, Washington, around 30 miles east of Seattle, when the two men encountered the animal. King County Sheriff's Office spokesman Sergeant Ryan Abbott said in the ensuing attack, the first rider received deep scratches and the other was dragged away by the mountain lion into its den. The 31-year-old survivor rode 2 miles out of the area and called 911. Police drove up the trail, found the victim's body, and went into the woods where they came across the mountain lion standing over the body, according to Abbott. Abbott said he or she, I don't know if the mountain lion was male or female, had the body of the victim down in the den. A deputy took a shot at the animal, sending it fleeing into the woods. Officers of the Washington Department of Fish and Game tracked down the big cat with dogs and killed it. Abbott said the survivor was taken to a hospital in Seattle with serious but not life-threatening injuries. Fatal mountain lion attacks are extremely rare in North America, with only about 24 recorded in the last 100 years, most of them involving children. Abbott said this was only the second deadly attack by a mountain lion in Washington state in the last 100 years. Mountain lions are the 4th largest cat species worldwide and usually attack humans only if cornered. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Seniors thunder into a local high school parking lot like coalition forces entering Baghdad. A substitute teacher just needs to make it to her car before breaking down in tears. And a college freshman tells his roommate there's no need to hide his masturbation from him. And now a week in review that truly requires no introduction. The nation's students announced this week that they have reluctantly agreed to give the American education system yet another chance, saying they hope educators keep their promises of smaller class size, better school supplies, and intensified efforts to raise the country's international math ranking. The nation's students vowed to give the education system one more shot, despite claiming to have been burned many, many times in the past. In other news, a man overcomes alcoholism without the help of Jesus, and an outcast student and a lonely teacher have begun a somewhat endearing sexual relationship. And that was a free lesson in top-shelf journalism. For more news, videos, and reminders of your insignificance, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
This is the Onion News Network. The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Hold. Hold. Hold.
You better hold on for dear life, because it's time for the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com on the Call to Freedom.
All right. Well, it is time for the Crypto Hour. Here, our first Crypto Hour of the week, this Monday afternoon live broadcast. And, well, everybody's been talking about the show Silicon Valley. I was actually kind of surprised when I told the guys that we were going to be covering this, and you two didn't know about the show.
I've heard of it, but I'm not a viewer.
Well, I saw the episodes that are, well, focused on cryptocurrency, and I thought they did a fairly decent job of trying to present, what it's like to launch an ICO and then realize that you're not going to have a moon in a Lambo 3 weeks later, and that kind of thing. And it was very honest in that. And then the final episode of the season, it showed a fictional 51% attack. And, well, the question is, could that really happen the way that it happened in real life? Well, most modern technological marvels make their way into mainstream media, but a select few are influential enough to be a feature on some of our favorite TV shows. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are no exception, having captured the imagination of millions around the world during a breakout period in 2017. Now, personally, the first time I ever saw anything about cryptocurrency that I thought was good coverage, good and big and major and mainstream, was a very popular show called The Good Wife that used to be on, had an episode where she had to, Satoshi Nakamoto's lawyer was her client, basically. And she was defending him against the federal government because the feds wanted Satoshi Nakamoto's real identity and, access to his private keys and that kind of stuff. And she defended him. And that's
a really interesting plot line.
It actually was.
Congratulations, you managed to get me interested in The Good Wife after I've been religiously avoiding it ever since I found out it existed.
It's one of the best episodes of the show that I've seen the whole series because my wife loved it, and it's literally one of the best episodes they do. It says here, primarily driven by the astronomical boom in the value of Bitcoin as the year drew to a close last year, people from all walks of life had either heard about Bitcoin or were actively looking to get involved. With the mainstream media headlines came all the fanfare with it, and popular TV show writers, well, they weren't about to be left behind. This led to Bitcoin being covered by famous comedians like Ellen DeGeneres as well as John Oliver in their respective shows. Both comedians gave satirical takes on Bitcoin. While these should have been taken with a pinch of salt, both celebrities reach millions of viewers on their show, meaning whatever perception is portrayed has the chance of influencing a significant number of people. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have also been featured on popular TV shows over the last few years, with Big Bang Theory being a notable series to have talked about Bitcoin. Following in their footsteps, some of the narrative of Silicon Valley's 5th season is heavily centered around the topic. Now, for those unfamiliar with the show, Silicon Valley is centered around the lives of 5 programmers and a startup company based in Silicon Valley, California. Now, if you're a fan of the show and haven't watched season 5, turn off your radios right now. Now, the star of the show...
Don't tell the listening audience that.
Well, it's a spoiler.
Yeah, just give a spoiler alert.
Yeah, the star...
But still listen to us so our sponsors will continue to give us money.
The star of the show, Richard Hendricks, creates an app known as Pied Piper, which is a data compression platform. The show ebbs and flows between projects succeeding and failing and a parody of real-world IT startups. The 4th season, which aired in 2017 and 2018 respectively, slowly introduced the concept of decentralized blockchain systems and cryptocurrency using the characters in the show. The protagonist, Richard, comes up with a revolutionary idea in season 4. He dreams up a decentralized peer-to-peer internet using a network of cell phones, which he eventually ties into the original Pied Piper app. Most of us know that as mesh networking. The idea has led to the creation of a parody website, while actual projects like Storage and SIA are just 2 examples of real-world working examples of decentralized data storage devices powered by blockchain technology. Season 5 centered around the actual development of this new decentralized internet. Midway through the season, he loses funding from an investor, and his software engineer, Guilfoyle, suggests that they launch an ICO to fund the project. Now, while the ICO doesn't exactly raise millions, the team continues development. The series finale, however, brings forth an interesting scenario for some real-world cryptocurrencies. A newly introduced villain teams up with regular character Lori and launches a 51% attack on Pied Piper's system. In essence, if a group of miners gains control of 51% of a cryptocurrency's hash rate, they'll be able to control transaction confirmations, allowing them to halt transactions and even be able to reverse and double spend coins. More information can be found in Cointelegraph's Guide to Proof of Work algorithm. In the show, we're told that the attackers could delete users and developer apps and crash their newly created token. Now, while this may make for really good TV, let's take a step back and consider if this is truly representative of what could actually happen in real life. The phenomenon's not new to the cryptocurrency community and was a talking point when Bitcoin's scaling debate was heating up in 2017. And it's still relevant today, and planned upgrades to Ethereum's network could rule out this type of attack. This phenomenon, notably smaller cryptocurrencies like Krypton and Shift were hit by these types of attacks back in 2016. Cornell University professor Emun Gun Sirer believes the extent of these attacks is slightly embellished on the show. Miners at 51%.
Well, yeah.
Right. Miners at 51% or more have a lot of power, but they don't have the ability to change the actual rules of the system, nor can they usurp funds.
Well,
they can
they can, because 51% isn't enough to constitute a hard fork.
They can rewrite the existing blockchain in a limited fashion. They cannot introduce transactions that don't actually exist, and they can't omit any transaction that they want. And they certainly cannot change the existing rules. As Searer suggests, Hollywood often takes liberties when it comes to the depiction of real-world scenarios, and that the art of storytelling on television, the bigger the story, the bigger the scenario, the more exciting it is for the viewers. Now, when we get back, we're going to continue on with this discussion about, what is arguably becoming one of the most popular shows in the crypto space, and are some of its storylines just a little too far off the reservation of reality? Or should we just be happy with the fact that we're getting lots of mainstream media and cable television promotion from the show, even if sometimes they embellish the facts about what is and is not actually possible in the world of 51% attacks and other scams? We'll be back here on the Call to Freedom in just a moment, here on LRN.FM.
But I would slave to learn the way, sink your...
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, The best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom, brought to you by Helium.com. Unasikiliza Crypto Hour inayohusu wito wa uhuru, imeletwa kwako na Helium.com.
Back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. So it is the middle of the Crypto Hour here on the Call to Freedom. And you know what? Are you new to the whole crypto industry thing? Are you wanting to get bought in, but you don't have the time to spend your day reading, white papers and going through all that stuff every day? Well, guess what? Let me introduce you to Helium.com. You see, Helium is a savings accelerator, and it's been powered by Uphold.com, and they just released their new version 2. The new upgraded version has all kinds of new features, and we're actually going to have them on the air tomorrow. So tomorrow afternoon, we're actually going to have the guys from Helium on the air. They're going to be telling you about all the new features that they've got. Right now, though, it's very, very similar to what we've always been telling you about. You charge it up with a bank card or a digital wallet, and then you just set it and forget it. It's completely automatic. Helium allows your money to move you. So go over to helium.com with an E. That's HELEUM.com/CTF. And get a great deal as a thank you for being a Call to Freedom listener. So we've been talking here about what's been a pretty big. I mean, when I went to Minneapolis, I was hearing about it over there. People who don't even really own crypto telling me like, "Oh, you got to see the show. Oh, it's right up your alley." Well, yeah, they have the cryptocurrency coins and everything.
I hate being told that because I have such narrow tastes in shows.
Well, says
it was like, oh, well, if you like Doctor Who, you'll love this. I'm like, no, probably won't.
Pied Piper coin actually exists, it turns out. There wasn't a lot of reaction to the actual Season 5 finale. Alphabet Fund analyst Brad Mills shared a link on Twitter that raised concerns around the actual creation of a Pied Piper cryptocurrency. As pointed out by Mills, the coin's not affiliated with the show's producers, but was created in May through an airdrop. It's with sadness and disappointment that I have to report how Pied Piper coin has transformed from one of the best parodies in crypto to a cheap get-rich-quick scheme by opportunists not affiliated with the show. It started out as fun, and now it's just another scam. Now, this Pied Piper coin situation shows the popularity of the TV show, with enough people interested as an actual token inspired by Silicon Valley. Well, there's no doubt that there will be more of a spotlight on this airdrop token in the coming weeks. So now, the way that they did it on the show is they had their own coin, right? And they had users. Users were supposed to sign up for this decentralized internet. And they noticed that their user numbers were going up really, really fast. So they decided to take a look a little deeper, because the user numbers were going up, but the value of their coin was stagnant. And they started doing a little research, and they found out that a Korean cell phone company that had access to their back door because someone in their team had left and taken that information with them, was signing up users to their decentralized internet. And that once they had 51% of the users, they would be able to take over the company and basically delete all the users and everything that the original creators of the software and effort had put in. So it's not even really a classic 51% attack on the hash rate. It's if we can reach 51% of users. So it'd be like if someone tried a hostile takeover of Coinomi. Where are you at, Arya?
Well, Coinomi isn't a currency.
No, it's not. And the 51% wasn't actually, attack wasn't against their coin. It was against their network, and saying, if we have 51% of total customers, then we can take control of the company. I mean,
well, it's like taking control of the Ethereum network without actually affecting the Ethereum token itself.
Yes, exactly. It'd be like if you could, I guess that makes sense. If you could take over the Ethereum network without actually affecting Ethereum's price.
Well, I mean,
because it's not even that. Because
you're going to affect the price doing that. I mean, that's why Bitcoin transaction fees are so manipulatable.
Yeah.
And miners are doing that intentionally.
It sounds almost like a hostile takeover from within, like if AT&T owned the company that made the phones, and then another company had a back door onto their network, and if they could just get 51% of the total phones on the network, then they could literally delete the ability for all the other phones to be on the network. I mean, it's in no way a 51% attack in the way that people in the crypto industry understand it. It literally looks more like an attempt at a hostile takeover, because he gets another company wrapped into it using.
Well, I mean, that's essentially what a 51% attack is. I mean, that's majority shareholder in, stocks and hostile takeovers in that sense, and on networks. I mean, if you control 51% of Bitcoin's hash power, which, would be quite a lot, then you could pretty much single-handedly determine Bitcoin transaction fees.
Yes, but you couldn't delete my Bitcoin wallet.
No, I mean, that's fictionalized. I mean, there's
and
no...
that's the part where they just went a little too far, is basically what they're saying is if you could get 51% of the hash rate, you can literally just delete everybody else's money. Like, we'll just delete your wallet because we have the power.
No, you need to be able to hack their private keys in order to do that.
Right. Exactly. Now, when we get back here, there's another story that I'm seeing rumblings of about quantum computers maybe just over the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
We don't understand quantum mechanics yet. How are we going to use it?
Quantum computing is a lot easier than quantum mechanics, actually. Strangely enough.
All right. Well, when we get back here...
So,
go ahead.
So why do they call it quantum computing then?
Because it sounds awesome.
When we get back, we're going to get into that and how it could be a danger to your crypto investments. So don't go anywhere. Stick around right here on the Call to Freedom, here on LRN.FM.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, on the call to freedom on LRN.FM. أنتم تستمعون إلى The Crypto Hour. يقدم إليكم برعاية Helium.com على برنامج نداء للحرية على LRN.FM.
Live from the Verticoin studio. This is the call to freedom. It's the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium. 47 here on LRN.FM. When you kill the faucet, you color 5 to get some free coins. This is the call to freedom.
on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live from our Zencash studio, and it is another beautiful day. So, story here from ZDNet. IBM warns of instant breaking of encryption by quantum computers. Move your data today. Welcome to the future transparency of today as quantum computers reveal all currently encrypted secrets, a viable scenario that's just within a few years. Quantum computers will be able to instantly break the encryption of sensitive data protected by today's strongest security, warns the head of IBM Research. This could happen in a little more than 5 years because of advances in quantum computing technologies. Anyone that wants to make sure that their data is protected for longer than 10 years should move to alternative forms of encryption now, says.
Are you getting why I'm not super worried about this yet, Arya?
Arvind Krishna.
Yep.
Krishna was speaking at a meeting of the Churchill Club in San Francisco on a panel about discussing quantum computers in business. The panel, which included Cam Moeller, a professor of physics at Stanford University, as well as Bob Stolt, a managing director at J.P. Morgan, was moderated by journalist Martin Giles. Quantum computers can solve some types of problems near instantly, compared with billions of years of processing using conventional computers. Moeller said that people might feel safer because they've done everything they're supposed to do to keep secure their existing data. But quantum computers will break it. I do think that's scary, she said. It's been known since the 1980s that quantum computers would be great at factoring large numbers, which is the foundation of public key cryptography. But building large enough quantum computers was not possible then. Advances in novel materials and in low-temperature physics have led to many breakthroughs in the quantum computing field in recent years, and largely commercial quantum computer systems will soon be viable and available within the next 5 years. Krishna said that there's a type of encryption called lattice field that is thought to be resistant to quantum computing attacks. The good news is that it is as efficient as our current encryption, so it won't cost more, he said. Quantum computers' machines are currently rare and very expensive, but can potentially solve many tough computing problems. The IBM Q is an attempt to build a commercial system, and IBM's been allowed more than 80,000 developers to run applications through a cloud-based interface. Not all types of applications will benefit from quantum computers. The best suited are problems that can be brought up into parallel processes. It requires different coding techniques. We still don't know which applications will be best to run on quantum computers, Krishna said. We need a lot of new algorithms. In addition to solving tough computing problems, quantum computers could save huge amounts of energy as server farms proliferate and applications such as Bitcoin grow in their computational needs. Each computation takes just a few watts. Yet it could take several server farms to accomplish it if it were to run on conventional systems. Moeller said, we still need additional breakthroughs, such as new types of materials with specific properties at temperatures near absolute zero. Single atoms, qubits, are held in place, but temperature fluctuations can create a lot of noise, which creates errors. Additional qubits greatly increase the computational power of a system, but that requires even more qubits for error correction. It's not known the optimum number of qubits for each type of problem yet. Also, there are substantial advances in software technologies that need to take advantage of the computing capabilities of quantum systems. New algorithms have to be developed to handle the error corrections. Krishna is certain that within the next 5 years there will be widespread commercial use of quantum computers. Don't wait, said Krishna. Begin experimenting right now. Well, Arya, you're our IT whiz over there. What say you?
Yeah, but I profess to an ignorance regarding the whole concept behind quantum computing. I actually did study physics in college. I actually majored in physics briefly and was going to specialize in general relativity. I'm not an expert on quantum mechanics. Well, I mean, nobody is, to be honest with you. Nobody understands it.
It's not really about quantum mechanics, though. It's just really, really tiny microchips. I mean, that's all they're talking about.
Well, I mean, the reason they're calling it quantum mechanics appears to be because the size is beneath the subatomic level, which would technically make it the purview of quantum mechanics. But anyway, yeah, I mean, a computer, a processor of that capability would certainly be able to crack any sort of 256-bit encryption standard. But, you know, around that time, we will also be using, 2048-bit encryption standards?
Yeah, that's already out there, too.
4096? Or whatever. I mean, you can take a modern computer right now and retroactively say, well, you know, back in 1970s, we were warning people that their 8-bit encryption could be easily hacked by a computer within the next 5 years. And yeah, it's true, but the encryption moves on as well, I guess is what I'm getting at. Mm-hmm. Our current level of encryption, sure. I mean, they'll be able to crack it easily, but we can crack 1992's level of encryption. My computer can do that while downloading porn, and it's not an issue.
You've tried this, I take it.
So basically what you're saying is this
I
is
lived this.
This is IBM trying to gin up business with Henny Penny Skies Falling.
Well, it kind of sounded like they were trying to sell something.
Well, it wasn't a sponsored link. It wasn't a sponsored ad. So
it was a sponsored conference, though, that people were speaking at. And I mean, they're really... Here, let me boil this article down to one sentence for you. Add more characters to your passwords. And maybe a lot more characters, but when they're talking about, well, quantum computers can crack your current password, what they're really saying is that because they can spam more potential password combinations, this is just talking about passwords, not higher level encryption. Because they can spam more combinations and try more things in a brute force fashion, it will be easier for them to brute force what are considered today to be complex passwords. What do you do to combat that? More complexity. How do you make an average password more complex? More characters. That's about it. Or more classes of characters. And I mean, Apple has already built this into the newer generation of iPads, because now not only can you use letters, numbers, uppercase, lowercase, and special characters, you can use symbols, you can use foreign characters. So just add more, basically you add more things that the computer's going to have to try to guess to slow down the guessing process. That's the idiot's way of thinking about what they're saying here. It's not that it's an insignificant thing. It's just not something to get super scared about. And it's certainly not something to, you know, throw a bunch of money at right now. But just start thinking about when a computer can guess your 64-character wallet password, what 128 characters are you going to use instead?
All right. Well, when we get back here, we're going to talk about, a recent hack has inspired CoinCheck to drop 4 well-known anonymity-focused altcoins.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Lil Drums. Every bit as fun as a full-size Nestle drumstick cone, and definitely cuter. Visit us at drumstick.com. Vacations are all about family time, but you don't have to leave home to have fun. Take 1 weekend a month and devote it to family activities. Pull out the board games and puzzles, serve up some treats, or have a picnic. Even without leaving home, you'll feel like you've really had some time away. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agrishosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agris Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agrishosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agrishosting.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom.
تستمتعون إلى The Crypto Hour على برنامج نداء للحرية.
All right, welcome back here to the final segment of this afternoon's Crypto Hour here on the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. And, we were talking about the 51%, the fictional 51% attack on Silicon Valley, and then we moved on to some other stuff. But I wanted to, first of all, cover some of the bigger noise. Well, noise would be a good way to put it too. That's going on in crypto values. Of course, Bitcoin, as always, hogged the limelight. Still only around $8,400 though. One of the world's largest cryptocurrencies by market capitalization suffered a 3.6% week-on-week drop in prices. It's still outclassed other major names like Bitcoin Cash and EOS, which both reported double-digit losses last week, with Zilliqua, who was the big winner the week previously.
My boys.
What?
Zilliqa, my boys.
Oh, yeah.
Talked about them on the air before. They're probably going to beat Ethereum to sharding technology.
Very cool. Says even though they were the big winner the week previously, they dropped almost 20% to become the biggest loser among the top 25 cryptocurrencies last week. But as we covered last week, on the plus side, privacy-focused Zcash has rallied a 50% gain and topped the list of winners as investors cheered on a new exchange listing. Now, I'm not sure if any of you remember this, the CoinCheck hack. Well, they've decided now they're going to be removing 4 popular altcoins. They say privacy-focused, but I don't see Dash as a privacy-focused coin. There are no private contracts, at least not yet. Recently hacked Japanese crypto exchange CoinCheck is going to end trading of Monero, Zcash, Dash, and Augur. Following reports from back in March, the exchange has now officially confirmed the removal of the 4 anonymity-focused coins and will come into effect June the 18th. According to CoinCheck's blog, the exchange will remove the 4 cryptocurrencies to comply with counter-terrorist financing and anti-money laundering measures recently issued by Japan's financial regulator, the Financial Services Agency. The FSA has been especially active in regulating domestic crypto exchanges, specifically around customer protection, since CoinCheck lost $532 million in NEM, a major hack in January of this year, which we actually covered that. As a part of its effort, the FSA has stated that local officially registered exchanges will face restrictions on the trading of privacy-focused altcoins, since they are more difficult to trace than cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. As Friday's official statement from the exchange says, the targeted cryptocurrencies will be sold at market price and then converted to Japanese yen. Earlier this week, Monex Inc., the company that recently acquired CoinCheck, revealed plans to expand the exchange to the U.S., claiming that the U.S. and Europe are more advanced than Japan in terms of regulatory clarity and attracting institutional investors to the crypto space. So, Dash is a privacy coin? Really? I mean, I get calling Zcash. I get calling Monero. But Dash, really? Like, it just doesn't... When I think privacy coins, I don't think Augur or Dash. I just don't. That's not just me, right?
No, it's not. I remember researching Augur, and nothing about it really stuck out. I think it was an Ethereum token.
It is.
Augur
Augur is an
performs
Ethereum.
some specific. It's not.
It is. I believe it is.
Yeah, that performs some specific tasks, kind of like Golem. I mean, it wasn't really trying to be a currency as much as it was trying to be a token.
Open source platform for prediction markets. Blockchain database. Let's see here. Augur, JavaScript, UI. I don't. Ethereum. Yeah, it's Ethereum nodes. It's based on Ethereum nodes. So it is. It is definitely an Ethereum token.
Well, nothing on Ethereum is privacy-based.
The next generation of smart contract and decentralized application platforms. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a privacy coin at all. I mean, if they're selling themselves as like the new smart contracts. And most of this is written in code. So, anyway. But yeah,
Hot air.
Yeah, I don't see Augur as a. It just, when I think privacy token, I don't think Augur at all. So maybe I'm wrong.
No, I mean, no, and I don't get why they're saying that. It wasn't designed to be a privacy token. It's not a privacy token. I mean, it's like calling Golem a privacy token.
Or
just
Dash.
Ethereum general.
Again, Bitcoin and Dash are listed alongside Monero, XVG. I mean, this is Master the Crypto's guide to privacy coins. And it lists Dash and Bitcoin alongside Verge and Zcash. Dash is not private. Yeah, see? Verge is not Verge is private.
Well, they used to be. Now that they're partnering up with Litecoin and Fedcoin.gov, I'm not so sure.
Let's see what they say here about Dash. Bitcoin does not offer privacy and has never claimed to do so. Okay. Zcash uses a new method of cryptographic privacy called ZK Snarks. Okay. And so Dash is not cryptographically private. Promises privacy through mixing, utilizing a modified version of CoinJoin, a method initially created to anonymize Bitcoins. Dash functions similar to Bitcoin in that the blockchain is transparent by default while offering optional privacy by way of mixing. A masternode is required to expedite the mixing process. So no, it's not a privacy coin. I don't see how this says Verge is not cryptographically private, that its privacy is only by way of Tor and Lyra2 in the I2P routing to obfuscate traffic and conceal a user's IP address when transacting.
Well, if you use Tor, anything is a privacy coin.
Right.
You'll also bog down the Tor network with unnecessary traffic.
Says the privacy, traceability, and linkability of transactions and addresses on the Verge blockchain are exceptionally worse than Bitcoin because the Verge blockchain contains fewer transactions. Furthermore, Verge offers a rich list. Thus, it's not a private at all. Oh, wow. They offer a list of like the people of which wallets have the most. That's not very smart. We've got a rich list, a list of all the people that are rich on that's a bad idea. Hey, hackers, you should put all your focus over here.
It's like a step beyond a public blockchain. It's like we're doing your homework for you too.
Right. All right. Well, when we get back here, we're Crypto Hour is in the books, and we are moving on to some of today's worst news with some of its funniest commentary. We get back here on the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM.
Crammed into tiny bar stools, cramped diner booths, and filthy cars where moving their limbs is either uncomfortable or impossible, hundreds of thousands of consumers rip apart chicken wings or tear off bites of Heroes and hamburgers every single day, often to the point of bloating, belching, and outright physical pain. Barbecue sauce or hamburger juice will literally dribble down these poor beasts' mouths and onto their shirts, their beards thick with pungent grease. Treated as little more than machines to be stuffed full of smoked pork, marinated chicken, and dry-aged beef, consumers are forced to wait in long lines, often while still fully conscious, before buying their meat and ripping it off the bone with their mouths in plain view of other consumers. The majority of meat consumers are often prodded to ingest vastly more than their bodies can handle thanks to cruel promotions like 25-cent wing nights and family-sized buckets of chicken. Help stop the brutality by visiting.
This is the Onion News Network.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, May 21st, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.41 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,285 per ounce. Zen Cash is trading at $33, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,500. Antiwar.com reports a number of Afghan senators, including Deputy Speaker Mohammed Alam Azadiar, are calling for an immediate review of security agreements with both the United States and NATO, complaining they have not fulfilled their promises to support Afghan forces in maintaining control of the country. In particular, senators complained that the amount of the country under control is getting even worse, saying more than 50% of Afghanistan is now either under Taliban control or contested by them. Senator Afzal Shamil said the U.S. should be ashamed and start taking the losses in Afghanistan seriously, even those supporting the U.S. deal agreed that the situation is looking dire, but argued the security forces needed to be supported by the Senate. Many see this deal as a losing proposition, however, saying that Afghanistan needs to review the bilateral security agreement with the United States and the status of force agreement with NATO. It is not clear if they want to negotiate a replacement or just expel foreign forces from the country outright as a first step towards a negotiated settlement. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports in North Carolina, a man crashed his vehicle into a restaurant, killing his daughter and daughter-in-law, according to police on Sunday. Roger Self of Dallas, North Carolina, went into the Surf and Turf Lodge in nearby Bessemer City with several members of his family, including his daughter, Caitlin, and his daughter-in-law, Amanda. After they got a table, Roger went out to his vehicle and rammed it into the restaurant where the two women were sitting. Caitlin and Amanda Self were killed. Roger's wife, Diane, his son, Josh, and his 13-year-old granddaughter were injured. Roger was arrested and faces 2 counts of murder. The incident took many locals by surprise due to the family's connection to the area, including its law enforcement community. The Gaston-Gazette described Roger Self as a prominent proprietor of a private investigations company who has known the district attorney there, Locke Bell, for more than 30 years. The Gaston-Gazette reported that Roger Self had been battling severe depression in recent years. For over 40 years, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports a mountain lion killed one mountain biker and mauled another in Washington state on Saturday when they rode into its territory, and authorities later shot the animal dead. The mountain bikers were riding together down a remote backwoods trail at 11 a.m. local time in an area near North Bend, Washington, around 30 miles east of Seattle, when the two men encountered the animal. King County Sheriff's Office spokesman Sergeant Ryan Abbott said in the ensuing attack the first rider received deep scratches and the other was dragged away by the mountain lion into its den. The 31-year-old 15-year-old survivor rode 2 miles out of the area and called 911. Police drove up the trail, found the victim's body, and went into the woods where they came across the mountain lion standing over the body, according to Abbott. Abbott said he or she, I don't know if the mountain lion was male or female, had the body of the victim down in the den. A deputy took a shot at the animal, sending it fleeing into the woods. Officers of the Washington Department of Fish and Game tracked down the big cat with dogs and killed it. Abbott said the survivor was taken to a hospital in Seattle with serious but not life-threatening injuries. Fatal mountain lion attacks are extremely rare in North America, with only about 24 recorded in the last 100 years, most of them involving children. Abbott said this was only the second deadly attack by a mountain lion in Washington state in the last 100 years. Mountain lions are the 4th largest cat species worldwide and usually attack humans only if cornered. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
The FAA has issued a reminder that any plane can crash and kill you. Deputy FAA Administrator Serena Grant.
This year, there will be more flights than ever. Any one of them could blow up in the middle of the sky without warning. That's why we're asking all Americans to tell their families that they love them before taking off.
The agency also released a list of important questions to ask yourself or your seatmate during your flight, including, should the wing be doing that? What is that whirring noise? And do all planes shake this much? They're reminding passengers that even the smallest amount of turbulence could mean you're headed toward a sudden explosive death. While hurtling through the sky at unimaginable speeds in a steel coffin can feel like gambling with your life, the FAA says there are ways to regain the illusion of control.
If you're worried about crashing, why not switch your flight at the last second? It might just save your life. Or kill you, depending on which plane crashes.
And for those who aren't flying this holiday, the FAA has reminded everyone that a plane could fall out of the sky right on top of you at any moment.
This is the Onion News Network.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom live on LRN.FM. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Welcome back here to the final hour of this live Monday afternoon drive home edition of the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Now, these days, it is almost impossible to keep your online and text communications private. But you know what? Hopefully, we've got a solution for you. See, the government has a toolbox full of tools that it can use to interrupt or spy on you in any way that it can. Sometimes they'll go and they'll say, you know what, we want access to your servers. And boom, now they get personal information, names, phone numbers, email addresses, or as we've seen in places like Turkey and Iran, they can just shut servers down. Just shut the server down and prevent you from communicating altogether. Well, that's where CryptVisor comes in. You see, it's a decentralized, secure communication platform that is hosted on the blockchain. So if, say the feds come to CryptVisor and they're like, you know what, we want all the personal information for all of your customers. Well, CryptVisor just tells them, we're sorry, guys, we don't keep personal information. That means no IP addresses, no email addresses, no phone numbers, no nothing. So you may want it, but we don't have it to give. And there are no centralized servers, so if the feds show up wanting to shut servers down, well, unless they can turn off the entire internet, they won't stop you from being able to communicate. So go over to cryptvisor.network right now and take a look at their new advanced security features. Their full release just happened today, and you'll still be able to get the app for free. So go to cryptvisor.network. Again, check out their new advanced security features, their full release that came out today, and their CVPay crypto wallet. Again, that's cryptvisor.network, your home for advanced secured communication. So we are moving right along. I had this. We had a couple different things we were talking about covering, and the title of this one just kind of hopped out at me. You know how I hate government and the police departments more than most other parts of government. It's kind of hard to violently enforce the edicts of the state if there isn't a class of people who aren't willing to be paid to do said violent enforcement. Well, an NYPD union rep's complaining that, well, he's increasingly afraid to arrest people for no good reason. Can't bust some guy for smoking a joint on the stairs. What's the world coming to? So here's whoever manning the official account of New York's police department union complaining in a comically misworded tweet that he's afraid to arrest a random guy who isn't doing anything wrong. I'm SBA at SBA NYPD tweets, now at Penn Station, a man on the steps as hundreds of people pass smoking marijuana. With over 20 years as a cop, I wondered, should I arrest him? What if he's an illegal? Will I get in trouble if he resists? Oh, community policing? Will the NYPD back me? Not. So I just walked away. 700 people love this comment. Now, this was the official account of the Sergeants Benevolent Association, headed by Ed Mullins. The borderline incoherent typos are a recurring theme with the group's Twitter feed. To attempt to clarify, the tweet appears to be complaining about some guy smoking pot while sitting on the steps and does not intend to state that hundreds of people passing by are also smoking marijuana, even if that's how it reads. The cop is not suggesting that the man is doing anything to harm anybody other than smoking marijuana. He is complaining that the smoker might be in the country illegally, though I'm not really sure what that has to do with anything. And he's concerned that a cop could get into trouble if the guy resists arrest. He doesn't seem interested in asking the man to move so that he's not blocking the stairs. To the SBA, apparently the only two policing options are to arrest or totally walk away. I guess this must be SBA's response to the news that New York Mayor Bill de Blasio will, quote, reform how the city enforces marijuana laws, and to Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr.'s announcement that his office will decline to prosecute marijuana possession and smoking cases. Today, the New York Daily News reports that de Blasio is going to order the New York Police Department to stop arresting people for smoking marijuana in public as the city prepares for the increasing likelihood that the state will legalize recreational marijuana soon. Those announcements came on the heels of a New York Times report last week that showed minorities are far more likely to be busted for marijuana possession than whites. This was not a matter of there being more open marijuana use in parts of the city with higher percentage of minorities. The story compared rates of complaints to police about public marijuana use in predominantly white and predominantly minority communities, even when the rate of complaints were similar. Arrests were far more likely in minority neighborhoods. Even after the state decriminalized personal possession of marijuana to a citable offense, New York cops continued for years to arrest people for possession. The numbers, you mean that the cops just didn't care what the law was, they just felt like arresting people.
To the point where the prosecutors are having to be like, all right, stop bugging us with this.
We're not going to prosecute anyone at all. We're not even going to find them. If you bring the case to us, we will literally throw it out. Who wants to place bets on whether or not cops stop arresting people for smoking pot? Because one idiot in the SBA is basically giving us the inclination that they don't want to. They don't want to stop. And they resent the fact that they can't. So how many how many marijuana arrests do you think there will be in 2019? Like, I want to we're going to have to look up what the marijuana arrests were for last year. Oh, wait. The city's total plunged from 50,000 arrests in 2011 to 17,000 in 2017. So after being told, do not arrest people for this anymore, it went from 50,000. It took 6 years, as a matter of fact, to get it from 50,000 down to 17,000. So 2/3. So about a third of the people that were arrested for this offense are still being arrested for this offense, even though you're not supposed to arrest people for this offense. So again, my question is, how many, after this statement is made, we will not prosecute, we will throw the case out. How many marijuana arrests will there be in the city of New York in 2019? I say 12,000.
So you're telling me that these cops continue to do something as though they are unable to stop themselves, even though it's illegal and bad for both them and the people around them?
Yes.
There's a word for that. A word that, oddly enough, doesn't apply to marijuana.
Oh, addiction.
Yeah.
I'll be. Well, when we get back, we're going to continue we're going to continue talking about this subject of cops that have just decided, well, you know what? We don't care what the law is. We're going to arrest you anyway. When we get back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Excuse me, is this where I get a license to start a new business?
I wouldn't be hasty. You have to get a license to go out of business, too, you know.
Oh, well, look, I've invented this little anti-gravity machine, see?
Oh, is that why you're walking 2 inches above the floor?
Oh, yes, it's very comfortable. It saves on shoe leather.
Yeah, well, you have to fill out these forms and report to the Human Services Department of Manpower Orientation and register with the Fair Employment Practice Commission, the Wage and Hour Division of the Employment Standards Administration, the State Sales and Income Tax Division, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Social Security Administration of the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, and, of course, OSHA.
OSHA? I thought that was a little town in Wisconsin.
You'll find out. Say, floating around like that could be dangerous. Have you checked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission?
Well, not yet.
Come to think of it, you actually are flying, aren't you? Look, you need to go over to the Federal Aviation Administration and the Transportation...
It's very hard to get anything done these days if you're in business, but free enterprise built this country. Think what could happen if we don't keep it free. A public service of this station and the Center for the Defense of Free Enterprise, Bellevue, Washington.
Besides, we just can't have people floating about unregulated, you know.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.fm.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the new Zencash studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And yeah, it's another day.
Not a new studio, but a new sponsor.
New sponsor. Hopefully better, more, better sponsor. On its way up, not on its way down. I can't buy or sell Vertcoin on most exchanges that I used to be able to now. Sucks.
Vertcoin, they crashed and appear to be crashing and burning. Not to speak ill of our old sponsor because I still love the idea.
I do too, but the problem is the gimmick of
awry.
The gimmick of we're ASIC resistant is now like it's everywhere. Monero's ASIC resistant. There's so many different coins now that are like we are devoted to this idea. That Vertcoin, if that's the only thing that differentiates yourself, is we were the first people that were devoted to this idea. Yeah, but that's all you've got now, and these other coins have that plus all these other features, like privacy.
Well, I feel like Vertcoin's greatest strength was actually their people.
It is.
It still is. I think where they went wrong was not getting their people out there enough. I mean, James should have been on here every other week, or someone for Vertcoin. And that's not a criticism on us.
I offered. I was like, you guys tell me.
Oh, I know you did.
Whenever you want to be on this, every time. And instead of coming here, they created their own YouTube channel and would make those announcements in like their own little bitty circle. And it's like, well, that's great. I'm glad that you're letting your own folks know. But like, we have a national audience in 9 major cities across the U.S., along with the Philippines and our South American, but our Sub-Saharan African satellite affiliates. We have a much bigger reach than your YouTube channel, and it just wasn't. It just seemed that they would prefer to internally promote, and I didn't want to promote Vertcoin to other people who like Vertcoin. I wanted to promote Vertcoin to everyone on Earth, and they just didn't seem to be down with that kind of a thing. So I found another, another coin that was. Zencash is another. It's the first AAA rated coin that we've ever had for our coin rating segment of the show, and they're voluntarists. We believe in their philosophy and in their idea of making a coin that is all the things that Bitcoin promised to be as far as privacy is concerned. So we're very happy and proud to have Zencash joining our community. We're going to be offering, like I said, a 10% discount on all products at our vending stations for anyone who pays with Zencash. To me, it's just really important to support efforts that are pushing good ideas within the crypto and the Liberty community. It's pretty simple to me. Anyway, we were talking about, it seems that the Benevolence Association, they're just whining because they don't get to beat somebody up for smoking some pot in a stairwell.
I mean, whining is what the Policemen's Benevolent Associations basically do. Oh, we only get massive public pensions. Oh, we only have zero accountability. We need less than zero.
We need a law that makes it a hate crime to speak ill of police departments. And that literally
dogs, our dogs need to be elevated above brown people. You don't do enough to protect the canines. Although if you legalize marijuana in Illinois, they've said they're going to kill all their police dogs. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, because
it's not cop murder when the cops are killing their own police dogs, apparently.
Well, they're actually pushing what they call the Thin Blue Line Act and the Probation Officer Protection Act. It's basically...
Probation Officer Protection Act.
Yes.
Good God.
The Thin Blue Line Act alters the federal crime code to make killing or targeting law enforcement, firefighters, or first responders an aggravated factor in determining whether a death sentence is justified. This bill, misguided and needlessly duplicative, federal law already stipulates crimes committed against law enforcement can be considered an aggravating factor in weighing the imposition of capital punishment in all 50 states. All 50 states also have laws in place that heighten sentences for crimes against law enforcement. The Probation Officer Protection Act would allow federal probation officers to conduct warrantless arrests of any individual an officer claims to be impeding their work, well beyond their current authority to arrest only those in violations of conditions of their release. This dangerous legislation raises serious Fourth Amendment concerns, and if enacted, will lead to an increase in the tense physical encounters that probation officers are ill-equipped to handle. So basically, they're pushing laws, and this is a bipartisan effort to push law that turns opposition to police officers into a hate crime, basically. Don't like cops?
I mean, that's exactly what they want.
That's a hate crime.
Existing near a cop. I mean, but if they are going to section themselves off into that demographic, then it just makes what I've said before more applicable, which is that they should be shot on sight.
The opinions expressed by Arya DeMezzo on the Call to Freedom are the opinions only of Arya DeMezzo and should not be taken as plans of any sort for armed insurrection against the United States government
or
by
suggestions.
Any other party.
Oh, wait, here's the new one. Here's the new one. It's called the Protect and Serve Act. It makes police a protected class and violence against...
Oh, for Pete's sake.
I thought their guns made them a protected class.
Yeah, well, that's like actually, self-protected. But, because cops are totally in the same category as... people who have been enslaved in this country or stripped of the right to vote or stripped of the right to love who they want to love. Yeah, cops are totally on that same level. They're not hero worshipped out the butthole. Or
the Senate version, if a crime results in the death of a law enforcement officer or crime involving kidnapping or attempt to kidnap or kill, then a sentence can be life in prison. If you knowingly attempt
so
to
did
cause
I just commit a hate crime?
If you knowingly...
Yes, you did under this legislation.
If you knowingly attempt to cause bodily harm to a law enforcement officer, that crime is punishable by 10 years mandatory in prison.
Time out. Being a cop is a choice.
Yes.
Yes!
It is not innate. It is not a fluke of birth or any of these other things that, we may or may not need to protect people for because they can't control it. You can control whether or not you want to be a bootlicker who goes around harassing people, arresting people, imprisoning people, assaulting people, kidnapping people. You can control that. You get a choice. In what sense do you get to sign up to voluntarily be a part of a victimized class?
Well, if you don't get to beat the hell out of a pot smoker in a stairwell, then you're a victim.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You can't win if you don't enter, and you actually can improve your chances of winning a prize drawing if you wrinkle up your entry blank. I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com, and I speak from experience. Why this works: if they'll be spinning the drum before drawing, your entry blank will move around more than, and not adhere to, other perfectly flat entry blanks. And if they don't spin the drum and merely reach into a box full of other perfectly flat entry blanks, many of which are sticking together, yours will feel different to the person reaching in. When you win, act surprised. And if you're looking for work, this is a metaphor. For more tips on sticking out in a world where just too much blends into the blah, 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 hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM, broadcasting live from here in the Shire. I'm joined by, well, the Queen of Crypto herself, Miss Aria DiMezzo from CryptocurrencyCheck.org, and our legal mind, Mr. Tom Gray. And we've been talking about, well, it turns out some cops are mad because they can't beat the hell out of somebody smoking weed in the parking lot. Like, oh, well, I see this guy, he's smoking pot, and I just want to take a billy club and beat him half to death, and throw him in a rape cage with murderers, but I don't think that the NYPD's or the mayor will back me on this. So instead of just walking over and kindly saying, hey, yeah, could you not be a jack-off and not lay in the middle of the stairs while you smoke that joint? Could you kind of go stand out of the way so people don't have to step over you? Nope. His choices are...
you pig.
Yeah, I mean, because of course the only options are beat him half to death and throw him in a rape cage, or walk away and do nothing. There is no, like, in the middle where you're a peace officer and you simply walk up and say, hey, I am paid by the city to tell assholes to go smoke pot over there. Not spread out, because I'm looking at the photo. The guy's spread out in the middle of the stairwell with his arms and his legs, and he's all kicked back. It looks like a homeless guy sleeping in the stairwell, and you got to step over him to get down to go to the subway. Okay, fine. He's being a jack-off. Call him that. Tell him that. Hey, jack-off, move. But he's like, well, I want to go over and beat the hell out of him and throw him in a rape cage, and I can't, so I'm just going to act like he's not here and, not be a peace officer, not do what I'm actually paid to do by the taxpayer, because if I can't beat people up and throw people in a rape cage, well, then I just don't want to be a cop anymore.
And I'm going to shoot my dog.
I mean, does that not kind of tell you the quality of human being that we're turning into police officers right there? Well, if I can't beat the hell out of him with a billy club and throw him down the stairs and then blame it on a black guy and throw him in jail, I don't want to be a police officer. What's the world coming to if I can't harass a guy who's not doing anything to anybody but smoking a little grass? What's the world coming to?
Well, we need them to keep us safe.
Yes, they need Nothing screams safe like I am a person with no accountability and a government paycheck, and I'm mad because I can no longer beat you up and throw you in a cage. Yeah. Protect us from them, maybe. And then on top of it, now you have this ridiculous effort to create basically a protected class out of police officers. Now here, this is the Senate bill. This is a bipartisan effort. It was introduced by Senator Orrin Hatch, a Republican from Utah, and Heidi Heitkamp, a Democrat from North Dakota. And the bill uses language that mirrors...
To be somewhat fair, Heidi Heitkamp is trying to save her butt because Trump won her state handily, and she's a Democrat. So it's Republicans.
Using language that mirrors the language used in hate crime laws aimed at protecting marginalized groups, the bill would make it a federal hate crime to, quote, knowingly cause bodily injury to any person or attempt to do so because of the actual or perceived status of the person as a law enforcement officer. So we will prosecute you for an assault on a police officer even if they're not a cop, you only thought they were. Or they were pro-cop. Say you've got a I love police officers t-shirt on, and some guy is like, you're a jack-off, and punches you in the face. Well, that's no longer a simple assault. That's now a federal felony and a hate crime. Punishable by 10 years in prison. For a simple assault.
This opens up a precedent that I really don't like. Notwithstanding, the police officer sting... period.
Resisting
but
arrest
are
as
we
a
next
federal
going
crime?
to see... No, I mean, the hate crime of voluntarily choosing to be a marginalized class. That whole idea. I mean, are we going to see hate crime legislation protecting IT people? Radio co-hosts?
Yes, I need hate crimes.
So bad.
I need hate crimes
people
legislation.
Who drive yellow cars? I mean, where are we going to stop at once we start doing it?
You know the old schoolyard joke? You know, yo mama's so fat when she wears yellow, people think she's a school bus. Hate crime.
Hate crime.
Not against fat people, but against people who wear yellow.
And fat people.
And look like vehicles.
Well, the ACLU, of course, has a response. It says here, extending hate crimes protection laws to enforcement officers, well, that's profoundly inappropriate and misguided as a proposal for several reasons. First, police already have substantial protections under federal and state law, rendering this bill superfluous at best. Second, hate crime laws are extended to extend protections to historically persecuted groups that have experienced a history of systematic discrimination based on a personal characteristic, such as race, religion, gender, or sexual orientation or disability. Law enforcement officers are not a historically persecuted group. Third, this bill signals that there is a war on police, which is not only untrue, but an unhelpful and dangerous narrative to uplift. Fourth, bills similar to the Protect and Serve Act that have been introduced in states around the country, so-called Blue Lives Matter laws, appear to be a political response to a growing national movement for police accountability in the face of continued killings and assaults on unarmed African Americans. See, I could have left with on unarmed Americans, because guess what? They don't really care what color you are when they're pulling the trigger. They still shoot white, black, brown, Native American. They shoot us all in the back, and they get away with it. No, seriously, they do. Like the teenager we covered just a few weeks ago, who a cop thought he had a joint. So he put 7 bullets in the back of the kid, and he got a paid vacation. And he shot a 20-year-old white kid in the back of the head who wasn't harming anyone, was no threat to anyone. But he's dead now.
Well, if they didn't do crap like that, they wouldn't need hate crime legislation to protect them from us retaliating against them.
Ding, 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 ding. I think we have a winner in the logic category there, Aria. It's almost like...
You shoot innocent people, they're going to get pissed, and they're going to shoot back.
Right? I mean, it's almost like that's happened over and over and over throughout human society. Oh, yeah,
This is a law meant to punish people for resisting the boots of the state on their neck.
Yeah. Very, very Stalin-esque. This bill is divisive. Will have a negative impact on the relationship between law enforcement officers and the communities they serve. Well, I already don't respect them, and seeing the fact that they want extra protection when they get to walk around our communities with guns and no accountability, I like them less.
Murdering people.
So I like them less now. Good job. Good job. Anyway, when we get back here, Tom brought up an interesting story. You see, Illinois possibly threatened to kill their drug dogs if marijuana is made legal. Well, Leafly's actually done a little bit of digging on that and found out the truth behind that story and what's normal to happen in police districts where marijuana is legal with the drug dogs that are, up until that point, used to sniff out stoners. When we get back here on the Call to Freedom, here on LRN.FM.
We get it almost every night, and that moon gets big and bright. We get it almost every night, and that moon gets big and bright. We get.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
Catch the Call to Freedom at its new time, weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. The Call to Freedom is the only live drive-home call-in show in the U.S. with a segment devoted to cryptocurrencies. Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, live from Vertcoin Studios in New Hampshire. Learn about what makes cryptocurrencies so great and why you should care about them. Updates on new coins and ICOs, and warnings of scams. Plus, hear from traders, whales, developers, and big names in the crypto world. You can also win crypto coins or tokens every episode. Just listen for the faucet sound and be the 5th caller to get free Dash, Litecoin, Vertcoin, Verge, or other cryptocurrencies. The Call to Freedom with Will and Aria, featuring Crypto Hour. Broadcast internationally through our BitPlus network satellite. Weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. on LRN FM.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.fm पे.
Let's focus our discussion first on marijuana, okay? Marijuana has a very distinct smell, okay? I'm going to pass around just a little tiny bit, and I want you all to take a smell so you know when someone is smoking marijuana near you.
Welcome back here to the final segment of this Monday live broadcast of the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. So, Tom brought up an interesting story about Illinois police officers supposedly threatening to kill the police dogs. Says here, a headline in the Week magazine recently spooked a lot of dog lovers. Quote, Illinois police claim if marijuana is legalized, they'll kill their police dogs. Wait, Really?
I mean, they should all be fired for saying
No,
that, you know?
not really. It turns out the scare was the product of a misinterpretation and lots of hyperbole. Here's what actually happened. As Illinois contemplates legalizing marijuana, a local Pantagraph newspaper published a piece on what legalizing marijuana in their state might mean for the state's drug detection police dogs. Quote, at this point, they're trained on 5 different odors. Once they're programmed with that, you can't just deprogram them. Steve Petrilli, the Normal Police Department's assistant chief, a former canine handler, told the paper, I think
That's
the implications
100%
of that,
incorrect.
Hold on, I think the implications of that would be huge. Though the original article says nothing about euthanizing canine units, several follow-up pieces, including from the national magazine, The Week, reported that legalization in Illinois would mean mass doggy murder throughout the state. Understandably, the idea stirred both outrage on both sides of the legalization question. But what really are the implications of legalization for canine units that have been trained to detect cannabis? Are the dogs really that useless after they no longer are needed to sniff out pot? And is euthanasia really the most likely outcome? Well, when the author here followed up with Petrilli, he said he never meant to even suggest that dogs would be killed. He insisted that his comments have been misunderstood. The topic of euthanasia, that whole comment, I hadn't heard that until the article was published. That would never be considered. I can't even fathom someone that would make that statement. Now, this is the guy that statement was supposed to have come from. Basically, The Week took his statements and turned it into something that they weren't. So what happened? Well, at the time I was being asked with the legalization of marijuana in Illinois, how would that affect the canine units? I was a canine handler for 8 years. I had a dog that I spent years with and retired with me. Plus, I've trained dogs. And the whole point I wanted to make was simply that once you train a dog on certain odors, you can't detrain them on one of the odors. It has nothing to do with euthanizing dogs. Petrilli did back up one part of the original Pantagraph piece, saying, if pot becomes legal, the dogs would likely either have to be retrained, which is something handlers say is nearly impossible or at the very least impractical, or retired. But retired, he stressed, means the dogs would live out their days with their police officer, not be killed. That's exactly what happens basically everywhere. Retraining or retiring dogs to live with an officer is an approach other legal cannabis states have already taken, and for the most part, it's gone smoothly. Regarding the dogs in Anchorage Police Department's canine unit, euthanizing dogs was certainly not the case once recreational marijuana was legalized in the state of Alaska, says Kendra Dozier, a deputy communications director for the Anchorage Police Department. None of our dogs exist solely for sniffing out drugs. All our canines are highly trained in a wide range of skills, including tracking suspects, recovering weapons, and finding lost or missing adults and children. They all live with their handlers at home with their families. When they're on duty, they're officers assisting our department in a multitude of incidents. When they're off duty, well, they're just regular house dogs. In short, no, we've not euthanized our dogs. That seems quite severe. The word from Denver was similar. We don't euthanize canines, said Jay Casillas, a technician with the department's media relations unit. While he noted that he can't speak for other departments, Denver's dogs now target large amounts of cannabis, not simple possession. The dogs, Casillas said, are still trained on 4 odors: cannabis, cocaine, methamphetamines, and heroin. The only thing we changed with regard to marijuana legalization was training them to sniff larger amounts of marijuana, 10 pounds or more, because we still have a booming black market for marijuana. When the dogs are retired, they usually stay with their police handler as a family pet, and a new dog is purchased to replace the one that was retired. Washington Department of Corrections said it's not aware of a single drug dog ever being euthanized in the state after it legalized cannabis for adult use in 2014. To our knowledge, said the communications director, there have been no cases of euthanasia amongst Washington state's canine officers when cannabis legalization occurred. Turns out some retired police dogs are in fact euthanized after retirement, but that's far from the norm and doesn't have anything to do with cannabis. There are two dominant disciplines that police dogs are trained in: detection and patrol. While detection dogs are trained to signal the presence of drugs or bombs, others are trained to bite and hold potentially dangerous criminals, or innocent black guys with their hands up and their heads behind their head, whichever one happens to be the target at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's my addition, by the way, not the author. Some dogs are trained as dual-purpose dogs, meaning that they can detect and control. Smart dogs. They can sniff out drugs and bite innocent people. Once dogs are retired, there can be liability placing them with the average family simply because their biting tendencies can be hard to handle. Hypothetically, a small number of police dogs are unable to be socialized, and they do end up being euthanized. So basically,
if they can't be socialized, wait a minute. If they can't be socialized, why are they being taken around in public to harass
they're
people?
trained to be evil and hateful and bite people, and that's what they're saying is like some of these dogs, we train them to bite innocent black men in the face with their hands up. So like you can't let those people go out in public. Once those dogs are too old to bite innocent people, you have to shoot them or give them a shot and kill them, because we've taught them to be monstrous animals and act like vicious creatures. So now that they're so old that we don't want them to be vicious anymore, we have to kill them. Isn't that beautiful?
No, it's not.
So basically what they're saying is we do kill police dogs, but it's not the ones that we use to sniff out drugs, because we haven't taught them to be vicious and to bite and kill people. Those dogs, the ones that we patrol black neighborhoods with, those are the police dogs that we have to euthanize, because we teach them to be vicious creatures and to rip the faces off of people. So once they're too old to do that effectively for us, well, we got to kill them, basically. So it's not really that the cops made it any better. Basically, they just,
yeah, exactly.
They're like, oh, no, we don't murder dogs that sniff drugs when they get done doing that. We teach them to rip people's faces off, and then we murder them after that.
So what they're really saying is, no. We're not saying if you legalize marijuana, we'll kill this dog. We're saying if you hold us accountable for violence against brown people, we'll kill this dog.
Yes, basically.
And we're supposed to believe that's better.
Well, it is better. See, it sounds so bad when you say, well, that dog that was sniffing your backpack for dope, we're going to kill him when we can't use him to sniff for dope anymore. It sounds better when you say, well, no. He'll live a long and full life. We're going to train him to rip people's throats out. And then once he's not able to function around
Why does that sound better?
I don't know, because the government said so. Because they're going to let the dog live longer.
And rip more faces.
And rip throats out instead of sniffing dope out. So
well, what heartwarming stories do we have for the people tomorrow, Will?
None. Nothing at all. No, we're going to have
Pace. Great. Have a good
Monday,
Monday,
have Pace from Helium in with us tomorrow, but don't go anywhere tonight because we've got Free Talk Live coming up next.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait on account. Now. Wait a minute.
Forget the road.
Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you're scared me.
You
What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this?
Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
You're 6 minutes away from a live episode of Free Talk Live, brought to you by freekeen.com. Listen live at freetalklive.com.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, May 21st, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.41 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,285 per ounce. Zen Cash is trading at $33, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,500. Antiwar.com reports a number of Afghan senators, including Deputy Speaker Mohammed Alam Azadiar, are calling for an immediate review of security agreements with both the United States and NATO, complaining they have not fulfilled their promises to support Afghan forces in maintaining control of the country. In particular, senators complained that the amount of the country under control is getting even worse, saying more than 50% of Afghanistan is now either under Taliban control or contested by them. Senator Afzal Shamil said the U.S. should be ashamed and start taking the losses in Afghanistan seriously, even those supporting the U.S. deal agreed that the situation is looking dire, but argued the security forces needed to be supported by the Senate. Many see this deal as a losing proposition, however, saying that Afghanistan needs to review the bilateral security agreement with the United States and the status of force agreement with NATO. It is not clear if they want to negotiate a replacement or just expel foreign forces from the country outright as a first step towards a negotiated settlement. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports a North Carolina man crashed his vehicle into a restaurant, killing his daughter and daughter-in-law, according to police on Sunday. Roger Self of Dallas, North Carolina, went into the Surf and Turf Lodge in nearby Bessemer City with several members of his family, including his daughter Caitlin and his daughter-in-law Amanda. After they got a table, Roger went out to his vehicle and rammed it into the restaurant where the two women were sitting. Caitlin and Amanda Self were killed. Roger's wife, Diane, his son Josh, and his 13-year-old granddaughter were injured. Roger was arrested and faces 2 counts of murder. The incident took many locals by surprise due to the family's connection to the area, including its law enforcement community. The Gaston Gazette described Roger Self as a prominent proprietor of a private investigations company who has known the district attorney there, Locke Bell, for more than 30 years. The Gaston Gazette reported that Roger Self had been battling severe depression in recent years. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts